Utah here. Many of you know that I've traveled across many of the western states looking for gold, panning for gold. Spent a lot of time in Alaska. I never got rich, but I found enough gold to make it interesting. A lot of my life actually centers around mining. I'm actually a geologist, work in the mining industry. But what most people don't know is that over the last 10 years or so, I've done a little bit of cowboy poetry. It's been a lot of fun. I've met a lot of people, written a few stories. And I wanted to share one of those stories here tonight. Now, the story is called The Ghost of Trevor Lee. It's a ghost story, and it's written about the mines of the Comstock Lode, specifically the underground mines. And because it is written about an underground mine, I thought it might be fun to actually do the video in an underground mine. So we wrangled one up, shot some video, and I wanted to start out with a little bit of an introduction because it is about the Comstock Lode, a very interesting deposit. I started out with some interesting facts of the Comstock, a little bit of history, and then we moved into a little bit of terminology, kind of some of what the poem talks about so that everyone can understand some of the definitions there. Take a look and let me know what you think. Alright, the Comstock Lode was an interesting deposit, and not just because the mines were fantastically rich in silver. It was interesting because they were hot, and the deeper the mines went, the hotter they got. By the time the mines closed, they were so deep, the miners couldn't see the rock face in front of them for the steam. In fact, after the Civil War, President Grant toured one of these mines and was quoted as saying, "That's as close to hell as he ever wanted to get." Now you go into one of these mines, you're going to stop at the portal and there'll be a pegboard. You're going to take a brass ring or disc and put it in your pocket. And these brass discs come in matching sets. And this way they can identify who's in the mine and who's out, or if there's a serious emergency, they can identify the people. So you're going to go in there, in the portal, and there'll be an adit or a tunnel. And once you're inside, things will go up and things will go down. Things that go up is a raise. And if you go down, it's called a winze. It's like a shaft, except the shaft is only at the surface. So from inside the mine, a winze goes down. And inside these shafts and inside these winzes, you're going to have a hoist, and it's going to lift supplies and men and ore up and down. Now, to communicate, the miners used a bell signal. That way they could communicate with the hoist operator. And a different combination of bells to stop, to start, up, down, Well, 9 bells or more is the sound of emergency. And that's a little bit of background because there's a little bit of terminology here in the story. One more thing. Black damp was a common killer in mines. Well, another name for the black damp or bad air is the stithe. In the dark and the damp of the depths below, where the sun is never seen, where the mercury boils and the miner toils over ore of a silver sheen, there's told the dark tale of a terrible night when a murder marked the day. Deep in the mine, beyond space and time, where blood meets rock and clay. In the muck and the mire of the Mandel mine where his bones will ever be. At the end of a drift, on an endless shift, roams the ghost of Trevor Lee. Oh, he was big as a barn and a brute, 'tis true, taking pleasure in the night, when with a grin he killed 4 men in a wild barroom fight. And the workmen all worried as the whiskey flowed. He was as ornery as could be, but we kept him on 'cause his back was strong. He did the work of 3. as his passion for the petticoats left him wound a little tight. Women took no chance at his lust-filled glance, and left the room in fright. Ah, 'twas his weakness for the women in his wicked life that did bring him to his end. For when he took my wife, he took my life, for my heart would never mend. Oh, the cankers left by cold and calloused hands did rent her to her soul. Her dress was torn, her hair was shorn, while I was down below. And with the rage and the rancor in my ransomed soul, my anger still burning strong, I did let slip from my pale grip a drill steel 3 feet long. With a crack and a clang it clambered on down the winds, where I could not miss, and with a thud did shed his blood, and left his soul in the abyss. Now he howls with hate as he haunts the stopes where miners fear to tread. Oh, they know it's him when stopes cave in, or the scythe leaves a miner dead. So when you smell the sulphur on the steam below that marks the gates of hell, where you walked past where lies his brass, and 9 bells give you a chill. When the demons all dance in the drifts below, and the Tommy knockers flee, when the timbers creak, or you hear a shriek, watch out for Trevor Lee.